Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I am live from the I Love
Evening.
University. Good evening. I'm trying to get my y'all on the air yet?
Yeah, we here. We ready for you.
Okay, I'm trying. My Wi-Fi acting up. I just everything going wrong. All right, y'all. I got class and I'm getting my education, so I will not be there with y'all. I know y'all have an interesting show lined up. I know it's gonna be amazing.
How has your week been?
It's been a rough one. Hey, what's going on? The door open? Is that door unlocked over there? Uh-oh.
Y'all here at the best institution in the world.
I ain't look. I don't have mine. I'm at the best institution in the world. Y'all up here. Y'all
Look at
love.
him. Y'all, he
Y'all ain't.
got his books, got his laptop. He ready.
I'm being scholastic. Oh, let me see here. I had a pretty good week so far. It's been busy. I've been on the go. I've been on the go. Our cars work for the door now. Yeah, we big time. Does it work for the gate too? Oh, the gate outside. Yeah, we big time. Our ID card work for the door. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Say hello to the Reliable Representation Show, folks.
Hello, y'all. How y'all doing?
You know who you talking to. Talking about how you be talking to anybody. Folks be ready to get on camera. So, what a computer loud. Okay. Yeah, that's that's my favorite classmate, Miss Deborah. How y'all doing? Oh, I know folks. Y'all, I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all, I don't welcome in a whole class full of folks.
Put your phone on mute. That's what you do.
I can put I just got here. If you could put a first name. Oh Lord
Put your phone on
Jesus.
mute, please, but don't turn off the camera.
Okay, I'm gonna mute y'all now. If y'all need, just say something. I'm holding my finger up and walk out. Good evening to you, Miss Darlene. I'll be in the chat box. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a good show. Brenda, you got to unmute so the folks can hear you.
I am in the studio by myself, you all. I cannot believe it. Listen, I have all these phones and everything going on. Then I'm tired. I got arthritis going on. So I got a lot going on, you all. But again, thank you all for tuning in to the Reliable Representation Talk Show. So I have a few announcements I definitely want to say. So kudos to all of the children, or let me change that, young adults who have returned back to the college sector. We are glad to have you all back in the classrooms. Another good academic year of teaching and learning. So make certain that you attend class, attend school, do your very best. Any issues, make sure you address those with your professors. And I am 100% sure if you go to them in the right spirit and have the documents that are needed, they are definitely willing to work with you and make certain that they push you on further to be successful. So, again, I am glad to say that this semester I am in the classroom again. And I am excited to work and educate the young, brilliant minds that we have at 1400 J.R. Lynch Street. So, again, welcome back. You all make certain if you see any young adults doing anything out of the ordinary, what they should not be doing, definitely meet them with kindness and express what they need to be doing. We want to steer our young people in the right way. We don't want to continue having a statistic of people, young people being troubled and having trouble passing pictures faced or placed on the television. So again, make certain that you are guiding young minds. I do want to also state that Friends of Jackson, my mentorship program, we are launching a new program, a new service, a new program, new service. So we will have baseball beginning this academic school year, starting in September. So the first Thursday, we will have, oh, we have a caller. Thank you for calling this the Reliable Representation Talk Show. This is Brittany. How may I help you? Thank you for. Okay, so that caller hung up. So again, we will have baseball this season with Friends of Jackson Mentorship Program. We will start off at Shirley Elementary School. So if you or your children are interested, young men are interested in learning how to play baseball, definitely have them to give a call to 601-421-0877. Again, that phone number is 601-421-0877. Again, these young people will learn how to play baseball. I guess you would say the basics. Athletics is not my cup of tea, but we do have someone that's on our mentorship board that will definitely be assisting young men learning how to play baseball. So again, it's free, no charge. He's going to bring everything. All he needs is your children. So you see if your children attend Shirley or Key Elementary, again, contact me, Brittany Bowman, 601-421-0877, and your children will be able to learn how to play baseball. And so just get them there with us, sign them up, and like I said, call me, and we'll guide them from there. Just get them there to us if they attend either one of those schools, or if they don't attend one of those schools and they want to learn how to play baseball. Again, I do want to share that information too. My phone number is 601-421-0877. So that's a new program that Franklin Jackson is launching. We are definitely excited to have that service that we're going to have this upcoming academic year. So again, we are looking forward and very, very excited. I do want to shift gears and say, you all, we are definitely in trying times where things are happening to everyone. Please make certain, ma'ams and sirs, that you are showing kindness to everyone that you see or that you come into relation with. Everyone needs kindness, and I definitely ask that you definitely show kindness to those people that you come in contact with. Want to tap in a little bit on some information as it relates to elected officials. I have to go here. I think I can do that for the next 15 minutes, but I'm not. But I do want to discuss this. Elected officials, you are in a position to serve people. And while serving people, it is in your best interest to make certain that you're serving in a very professional manner, make certain that you're executing temperament, make certain that you are doing what's best for individuals that you are serving. A lot of times it may not be what you want the outcome to be. However, just make certain that the decision that you yield, that it is in the best interest of the person that you have in front of you, because you are either damaging someone's life or either saving someone's life. And those are the two aspects I definitely want you all to consider. I do want to kind of hone in on a particular case that myself and Representative Nelson are assisting a young man with. He's raising his hand. Yes, sir.
Hey, just want to say hello to Miss Mary Bradley, all the way from Columbus, Ohio, as well as Miss Darlene Wilson from Utica, Mississippi.
Hey, Miss Darlene.
Miss Darlene beat you on tonight. And hey to you, Miss Edwina Fox from Yazoo City.
Oh, Yazoo is on the line, y'all. He got to make sure he shout that out.
The zoo in the house. Okay, you can have the floor back.
So I do want to say, myself and Representative Nelson are working with a young man with a case out of Rankin County. And the young man has definitely been accused of a crime that he did not commit. And so let me just give you a little background of the case. He was a former Jackson police officer and Brandon police officer. So he was in Jackson, transferred to Brandon, got married, started a family. And so he said, hey, I want to better my life. And so I need additional income. He went to go acquire a job with the local apartment complex in Brandon, and it was primarily African-American. He went there, he went to go work for that apartment complex. And while working there, he had a relative that was actually dating someone that was a resident at that apartment complex. And so he was dating that person that lived at that apartment. Well, I'm sorry, his brother was dating that person that lived at that apartment complex. Once him and the brother and the young lady relationship ended, so the mother of the alleged victim, which was the brother's girlfriend, says, hey, asked this particular person, say, hook me back up with your brother. He said, nah, I can't do that because I'm in law enforcement. So that's not something that I can do. And so he decided, well, hey, I'm not going to actually hook you all up because I can't compromise my job. And so he did. And because of that, he ended up actually being in a bad situation, I would say. So mom said, well, hey, if you can't hook me and your brother back up, then hey, I want you to date my daughter. So again, this person refused. He said no, that wasn't something that he could do. And so he didn't. Okay, well, while he didn't, mom got mad, went to Brandon Police Department and said, hey, what I'm going to go down here and say that there was an encounter between you and my daughter. So he, still working for Brandon Police. Nothing happened. Well, 6 months later, this young man said, hey, I'm going to resign from Brandon Police Department because already he was catching backlash because he was pulling over people, just doing what an officer is supposed to do. Well, the assistant chief there at Brandon Police Department said, "Oh no, you're stopping certain people and you shouldn't do that. You can't do that if you want to keep your job. You got to make certain you're only stopping these types of people." And I guess these type of people, quotation marks, should have been African Americans or, our other sister and brother counterparts that are who are not on a higher scale. And so this young man, he complied. He said, "Okay, I understand he needs to keep his job again, marriages, just newly married, just had his first child." So he said, "Okay, well, I'll definitely abide by what you stated." So again, he ended up resigning from this job, resigning from Brandon Police Department, went on to start a career with another, out of law enforcement, with another entity, with a mental health agency. He started working there, thinking everything was off good, fine, dandy. All of a sudden, he gets a call from his superior and say, "Hey, I need you to visit my office." And so he was like, "Oh, why? What's going on? Why do I need to be there?" So they said, "Well, hey, we've got received word that you need to be at Brandon Police Department headquarters." He was like, "Oh, really?" So he goes down there thinking everything is fine because he's like, "I know I hadn't done anything, so why am I going?" Well, this young man went down to Brandon Police Department. When he went down to Brandon Police Department, well, let me say this. He didn't make it down there. Let me backtrack. He didn't make it to Brandon Police Department. He was on Highway 80. Going to Brandon Police Department. He was stopped by Brandon Police. I'll say between 5 to 7 carloads of police stopped and pulled him over. One particular officer that he worked with said, "Hey, I don't know why they are having us to attack you or stop you. We know that you are not guilty of what they're saying, but allegedly they are saying that you had an encounter with this young lady." And he was like, "Man, what? An encounter with who? What? When? Where?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "When?" So they didn't give him time to ask any questions. They booked him, took him on down to Brandon Police Department headquarters, asked no questions, handcuffed him, and at that time, he was at Brandon Police custody for 8 to 9 months, left there. And then, of course, he shifted over to Rankin County. Saying all that to say, he went before the judge. The judge told him, based on the charges that have been brought against you, your bond will be $1 million. Now, $1 million, this young man didn't kill anyone. It wasn't a homicide. It wasn't burglary. It was actually just accusations from he say, she say from a bad relationship. So when they told him $1 million, of course, what black person has that 10% of that amount of money that they can pay to actually get out of jail? So of course he knew that he wouldn't be able to get out. He said, "Oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to sit." Okay, so they took him back, and so he had a bond reduction. So with the bond reduction, he ended up having a $500,000 bond. Well, $500,000 still not too many black people can afford that. So he couldn't afford that. And so by him not being able to afford the $500,000 bond, he's like, "Okay, well, what am I going to do next?" So $500,000 he couldn't afford. So he had to sit there a little bit longer. So he ended up sitting in Rankin County. I'll say roughly that was the whole time, I'll say 9 months. Well, after that 9 months time that he was sitting there, later, he couldn't afford an attorney. So of course, can't afford an attorney. They have to appoint you someone. So they appointed him a public defender. That public defender name was John M. Finger. And so John M. Finger was appointed to him and say, he was like, "Okay, you're going to be my public defender. So how are you going to represent me?" And he said, "Well, I'll be there to represent you and everything. However, but this is what we can do for you. You can accept the plea. And if you accept the plea will be 10 years in prison." He said 10 years for something that I didn't commit. And they said, yes. And so he said, "Okay, well, why can't you all prove what you are alleging that I've done to be here?" Okay, so they never brought any evidence or anything. So this young man had to sit behind bars with no evidence, again, from accusations. So Rankin County didn't have any forensic testing done. They didn't have any witness statements. They didn't even produce any evidence. Nothing was there. Just he say, she say. Somebody went to report that something was done. Rankin County, Brandon Police agreed that, yeah, y'all said it. We're going to take your word for it. So he's going to go serve time. So this young man served time, like I said, serving 3 years in. Well, he was granted 10. So he served 3 in, 7 on probation. got out. Well, before getting out, he also encountered, all type of public scrutiny because of the crime. But people from Rankin County, those that are African American, knew that, hey, this young man didn't do this. This is all a setup because he was constantly having issues with Brandon Police Department. So, nevertheless, this young man got out, has been doing marvelous work in Hinds County, Rankin County, and Madison County. And so Judge Emfinger wants him to accept what has been placed on him almost 20 years ago, knowing that he did not do it. Now, as his public defender, his job was to represent the best interests of his client. He made the young man accept this plea. Well, you're going to accept this plea if you want to go home and see your parents. Well, his parents are up in age, so they even said, well, hey, son, accept that plea because you'll be home soon. We can't afford it. So, again, if you're in Rankin County, you know how Rankin County goes. You're like, well, I'm going to have to accept it because he's already told me if I don't accept it, I'm looking between 30 and 90 years in prison. So he accepted the plea, not knowing that 20 years later, he was going to have this on his record for the rest of his life. And so saying that to say, I'm going to announce the person, but I want you to know sometimes you're looking at people that are walking around. You have no idea of what their past looks like. You have no idea of how they feel as a person. But what you see on social media is people that are glamorized, people that are looking good, thriving in life. And some people have definitely had torment. They've suffered to get where they are. So if you know Mr. Hobson with Hobson's Junk Remover, assist Fabian in helping him to reclaim his identity. This young man, like I said, has done marvelous work in Hinds County, Madison County, Rankin County. He has went on countless interviews, and been told that, unfortunately, no, you're not the right candidate. That hurts. When he's out here already volunteering his services for free to Hinds County primarily to help, because he loves doing what he does, which is junk removal, hauling trash, debris, cleaning up neighborhoods. He loves it. He has a passion for it. And so every job interview he's went on, I know with the city of Jackson, Hinds County has always been something that has not allowed him to walk through the door. So when you see Mr. Hobson, know that this is your walking testimony. Had Fabian and I never connected with him over a cleanup, we would have never known what potential, what blessing he would have been to us. And you all probably see on Facebook, we share it as the trio. It's us three. And we work hard together. And as Fabian alluded to earlier this week on a podcast, a lot of times he calls us and say, hey, you all, I saw this on Facebook. Let's tap in and see what we can do. And so we're like, okay, well, where is it? So Fabian's like, oh, that's over there. And Fabian's like, well, that's kind of outside my district. But, I don't mind help because those people need help. And so James was like, well, yeah, when can y'all help? And so him and Fabian will be like, well, we're going to do it. And so they eventually pulled me on it because I'm like, I'm tired. Hey, I don't want to go out there in the hot sun, what have you. But they're always ready and available to help. So, again, Mr. Hobson has a petition going around. So we're asking for the public to support his plea. Judge Emfinger, again, was his public defender in Rankin County. He knows that it was a disservice, that you had no evidence. You had nothing of the crime, but you've made me suffer. For 20 years, he's had to do time, but I suffered with this backlash for 20 years, and now I'm pleading out for help because now he's actually had to go through a whole bunch of rehabilitation with society, from public scrutiny to community damage to everything he's been through. He has consistently said, I thank God every day that I had a praying mother, and God has connected me to great people like you all that don't look at people from their past. So again, when you see him, definitely offer him a kind word. When he sees or posts about his petition, help him, assist him. If you know of someone that can go to Judge Emfinger, go to Governor Reeves, go to Lieutenant Governor Deborah Hoseman, go to them asking them would they assist this young man and free this man from something that he did not do. And we all know how it goes. If you're Black and they said that you did it because it's in black and white, then you definitely did it. And that's not all the time the case. A lot of times it is people have personal vendettas against people. And because of that personal vendetta, I'm going to show you how I can damage you. But I have a word of advice to people who have that mindset. God sits high and he looks low. And what you mean for bad for people, God will turn it into good. you will be surprised of the feedback and the inboxes that we've got from myself to Mr. Hobson to Fabian to Miss Reeves, Charlotte Reeves. There have been so many people reaching out to us asking, what can I do? How can I help? Or whatever. And it's not to share his story so that you can publicize what he has done. Because again, we don't want God to roll the cameras back to show what all of us have done. Because all of us will put up the Baptist finger and leave because we're all guilty of sin. But what we are wanting to showcase is, hey, this is a young man who has not done anything. And we wouldn't advocate for him if the evidence was there. We'll just be like, okay, well, that was just a bad hand. You would deal with it. But there was no evidence. And so he's been convicted of a crime where there was no evidence. He couldn't even take it to trial because of Judge John Empfinger. So when you see people hurting, when you see people walking through life, you never know what they're going through. But again, our cry is a plea for justice. And so you'll see some things forthcoming that we'll be posting and we'll be narrating. And we've already came to the consensus. If it just has to be us three out there, we're going to campaign, we're going to bargain, we're going to do whatever we need to do to make certain that this young man receives the freedom and reclaiming his identity. Because nothing hurts worse than when people have already came to a conclusion about how they feel about you and they don't even know you. And so I just wanted to share that information. Now, I do also want to go here before we wrap up, since I'm the only one in the studio and I have to get back to work before I wrap up. There are several community meetings going on this week. Make certain that you participate in your community meetings. There are some issues I know that Representative Nelson said that he's going to attend to in regards to these nightclubs not having proper security and lives are being lost. Help the police do what they need to do. If you know of someone that's committed these crimes, make sure you're turning that information in, because when one of us hurt, all of us hurt. And if they are at someone else's area, if they're in someone else's area, they'll soon come to us. And that's just statistically proven. So again, make certain that you are visiting your neighborhood meetings, you are supporting your neighborhoods, and you are supporting and electing the right people. And I gotta go here. If you have not decided which side of the fence you're going to be on coming up for the next election, make sure that you start now vetting your people. We have so many people that are in public office just for the benefit of a paycheck and or because of a title. We need people that are going to serve. That's just like Mr. Hobson of Hobson's Junk Removal, his story that I just shared. We need people who are going to serve. We have Ms. Delissa Sanders. She's going through something with a Hinds County judge. It's not about if you like people, you all. It's about, are they doing the right job? So when we're electing people, we need to make certain that these people that we're electing align with our own goals, our own morals, and our own values. And when that is being compromised or not looked at, then that's a problem, because now you're placing people in positions that they shouldn't be in, such as this poor child that can't get back home to his mom because of a judge's personal agenda or whatever. If it's not her personal agenda, for whatever reason, she says no. The grandmother and the mother just really wants to know why. Same thing with Mr. Hobson. He's having an issue. He just wants to know is, if you said that I did this crime, just show me the evidence of where I did it. Because I know where I was, I know when I was there, or if I was there, and none of it took place. It was all made up. It's a fictitious story. But you all have chosen to believe something because someone else has said it. And it's so heartbreaking to know that the person who alleged that he did the crime is now just recently died this year. So it goes to show you all, you have to be careful of the seeds that you sow. Whatever you sow, you would definitely reap again. That's good or bad, and that goes for every one of us that have breath in our body. Be very, very cautious, cognitive of what you do, how you do it, and who you do it to, because you never know. You never know how you have to pay for the wrongdoings that you've done. So that is my tidbit for tonight, and I'm getting offhanded 3 minutes early because I have to get back to work and finish the work that we're doing at Jackson State University, as this is our first week on campus. So again, congratulations to Representative Nelson. He's back in the classroom. Y'all looking all studious tonight. So we're gonna let him slide tonight. I think he's gonna rearrange some things so that he can participate. But if not, we'll have some guests in the studio next week, because we definitely have to get back on Mr. Hobson's story in Rankin County, and Ms. Delissa Sanders, she'll be back to share the progress, or if there's any progress to update with her grandson's story. So again, keep these people in prayer. Ms. Delissa Sanders, definitely, if you want to reach out to her on Facebook to inquire about her situation, definitely reach out to her. Again, if you want to reach out to me for your children, your young boys to come learn how to play baseball, of course, again, I won't be out there, but one of my fellow mentors has offered up his services and said he wants to help the young men stay out of the streets. And he wants to give them a different outlook on life by being athletic. And so they will be participating in baseball. Everything is free. All you have to do is text me again, 601-421-0877, and we will get those children ready to go. The first session will start September, I think it's the 4th or the 3rd, which it's the first Thursday in September. So whatever that date is, that's when these young men will start with baseball. And also, if you want to contribute anything to Mr. Hobson toward his plea for justice, if that be monetary, if that be a character letter reference, if that be having a meeting with us so that we can rally the right people around him, definitely support the initiative. Again, that's Hobson's junk removal. Definitely do that for us as well. And if you are wanting to support myself and Representative Nelson and Mr. Hobson with our South Jackson Coalition for Cleaning, definitely reach out to us. That's something we have dropping. So we have a lot of good stuff dropping for the remainder of this year going on to next year. So again, thank you all so much for listening to the Reliable Representation Talk Show. We will see you all on next Thursday. Handy, you can take us out.
It's now time for Mississippi